co-host, my partner in crime, my business partner, my compadre, Cheryl Manette. Cheryl is someone, when he says someone is a strong-minded individual, Cheryl was driving to work, ladies and gentlemen. She was going through a situation, and thank God that she was able to get to her destination in peace. Cheryl felt water coming out of her eyes. When she took something to wipe her eyes, she seen blood. She was not born blind, but due to a certain situation that was going on in her life, she lost her vision. She's, vision impaired. But Cheryl knew that she cannot stop. She knew she had to keep pushing on. She had 2 children she needed to provide for that looked up to her. And she had a dog as well to take care of. Cheryl had to leave the work field and find another means of survival. She became an entrepreneur. So Cheryl is now doing TV as well. She's doing radio. She has her own cooking show that she does. They have just written a book, which indeed Les Brown also co-signed off on it. So it gives me the greatest pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce Cheryl Manette.
Thank you, Nisa. It is always, always a pleasure to be here. Great to be here for the youth and for our communities. I'm going to start with a conversation, and the conversation goes like this. Can you see me? Because I'm here. Do you see what I look like? Can you hear me? Because I'm speaking to you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Do you even care? Why do you make me feel invisible? Why do you make me feel as though my words have no value? I don't understand this process. I look up to you all the time, but you look past me. You look through me. You walk around me as if I don't exist. I do all that I can to get your attention. Don't you see me? I try to do good, and it's not acknowledged. When I act out, you disregard me. What can I do to be seen by you? What can I do to be heard by you? This is something that our youth go through all the time, either silently in their minds or verbally as they're speaking to the adults around them. But a lot of times they get no response. And as most of you know, it is difficult being a teenager. So whether you're here as an adult or whether you are a teenager, you know it's not an easy process. It's not an easy road to walk upon. But yet and still, it's part of life's path, those teenage years. Trying to understand who you are, trying to get to know who you are, trying to get to know where you fit in the world. You ask, where do I fit? What am I supposed to be doing? And the big one, Who am I? As you're trying to find your way and weed through everything, because there's a lot. There's a lot going on as a teenager. You're trying to find out who you are, where you should be, how to position yourself, what you should be doing, who you should be with, who you shouldn't be with. The list goes on and on and on. And when you do not have those in your life that can assist you, that are there to hold your hand and lift you up and pick you up, it makes it 1,000 times harder. And a lot of youth don't make it. Why? Because they don't believe in themselves. Because they've been made to feel so inadequate. Their self-esteem has been broken. They feel worthless, devalued. People place labels upon the youth. Our youth are a precious commodity. They are a gift to us to embrace and behold. And many of us, and when I say us, the adults, the leaders, the community, many of us embrace our youth and support them. Because in case you didn't get the memo, you don't have to have a child biologically in order to raise a child. You don't have to have a child biologically to support a child. You do not have to have a child biologically to pour into a child. You know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. And that's exactly what that is. It takes a village. It takes a community, a group of people to raise a child, to keep your eye out and let them know they're seen, to keep your ears open, to listen and hear, to make sure they're okay. And when they're speaking, to let them know, I hear you. I hear you. And to take the time to pause and listen to them. Because it's hard enough growing up in this world, let alone as a young person. And in order for them to believe in themselves, they need to know that they exist. And so many of our youth feel that they don't. And therefore, they turn to the streets and they're involved in things, the youth on youth crime that run rampant through the communities. And they're hurting each other because they themselves are hurting. We need to find ways to stop the hurt. We have to slow down as adults and take the time to spend time with our youth. And when I say our youth, I mean all the youth that are out there. Because there are many, many youth that are just wandering around. They are hurting, they are broken, they are crying out. And it's up to us to step up because they need to understand the power of self-belief. But while they are moving in this world broken and broke down, they don't believe in self, let alone the power of self-belief, because the power of self-belief is so strong that you're able to pull yourself up out of your circumstances. The power of self-belief, you're able to see beyond your current circumstances. You're able to see yourself outside of what you're dealing with currently in the present moment. We really have to embrace and pour into our children so that they can then dig deep within themselves and find their power of self-belief. It is critical for our future. And when I say ours, I mean the future of humanity. It is a critical, critical piece. We must come together. We must link arms with each other and surround and embrace the youth around the world, because they are all our children. And we need to do it before it's too late, because they are our future leaders. And if they don't know who they are, how are they going to take over? How are they going to run this world and rule this world properly so that it's a humane society globally? Something to keep in mind and think of. The power of self-belief is powerful. And without it, people perish. So my name is Cheryl Manette, your Vision Loss boss. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. I would now like to introduce the next guest speaker for today. His name is Troy Richardson. Troy is a man of many talents and a huge dose of humor. Troy is an activist, a humanitarian. He is a health advocate and a true leader. And we want to thank him for his service as a military vet. Troy has been a guest on BET and other podcasts and many TV networks. Troy, welcome to the stage. I hand you the mic, sir.
My sister Cheryl Manette, thank you so much. Unisa Camara, Youth Saving Our Next Generation.